welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ayada Malapela and I'm a YouTuber based and studying in the United Kingdom. If this is your first time here, you're welcome to a family of fun, welcome to a family of love, welcome to a family of gisting, welcome to a family of peace and all that. Yeah, so on my channel, I talk about faith, life, finance, vlog, beauty, fashion, a lot of things. Basically, it's all about fun on my channel. And if you're an existing subscriber, you go baddest, you know now you're the baddest gang. Thank you for always sticking by. Like I really love you. Even to my first time subscribers, I really love you. But please do not forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video. So on today's video, as you can see from the thumbnail, is the things we have actually heard while we're in Nigeria versus things we are actually seeing or experiencing in the UK at the moment. So before I left Nigeria, there was like a lot of things I actually saw in Nigeria. There was a lot of things I actually heard before leaving Nigeria. But on getting to the UK, it's a different ball game entirely. So in this video, this is me trying to bring out the truth about staying in the UK. Like all the truths that you can ever think of, you are going to be hearing it in this video. And it's going to be part one and part two. This is going to be part one. I don't want the video to be unnecessarily long, so that's why it's going to be part one and part two. So I'll be releasing the part two sometimes next week. But this is part one. I want you guys to actually sit down, grab your chilled coke, grab your popcorn. If you know this is going to really interest you, because guys, we are about to spill some truths about staying in the United Kingdom. So guys, let's get right into this video. So guys, we're going to our first the first person we're talking to on the street, which is like a colleague of mine. We're going to our house now, so let's go. Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Please, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Miriam Kimberly. My name is Bolanle. So I'm a university student, a graduate student studying education, inclusion, and special needs.
Hmm. Education, inclusion, and special needs. Can you like enlighten us a bit about it?
So the course is basically for people who have the pathway in special needs
Okay.
and people who want children with learning disabilities or core learning disabilities to, be included in the society. So basically, the pedagogy that has to do with, you as a teacher learning how to include students in your class. More of inclusion and diversity. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. So, actually, this particular video is just for our those that are at home and some people that are still planning to come in, maybe this January, May intake or September intake. We don't
Okay.
know. So the point is, there are some things we heard in Nigeria, like okay, when you come to Nigeria and when you come to UK, UK is like a place with plenty money. You just come, start packing money anyhow. So I feel like we should allow some people to know that maybe it's the same, like the way they said it, or is not the same. So this is me trying to compare between what you heard in Nigeria
Mhm.
versus what you are actually seeing in the UK.
Well, for me, before I left Nigeria, because the dream has always been Canada. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it has always been Canada. But since the PR, the scores were too high because of age and some other factors, so we just said, oh, let's leave Nigeria for now. And at least from here, it's easier for you to migrate to anywhere
Yeah.
or any part of the world. So, well, a lot of people discourage me, like, "Ah, what do you want to go and do in the UK? If you're going to be working, you're going to be using all your money on bills and all of that." But trust me, it's actually a lot better than Nigeria. I wouldn't lie, because the basic amenities are basic, if I should put it that way. Then, um, of course, I have a child. School fees is free. That alone, because I know the amount I was paying crazily in
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria before we moved here and all of that. But the thing is, it's a lot of hard work, because anywhere abroad, even in the US, in Canada, or anywhere, you would work too. earn a living and all of that. It's not like Nigeria that you can just call one uncle to say, oh, uncle, I don't have money. Can you send me some money? Here, nobody sends you, nobody at all. So you have to work. So it's not as if they are plucking money. And I think the advantage that some people have is because they've been here for years. So, and
Okay.
you know that the economy is not as favorable as it was then. There's
Mm-hmm.
inflation everywhere. Because even in Canada now, a lot of people are complaining that, oh, everything is just expensive. Because I have a cousin in Canada that got her house like a year ago, and she was like, looking at the economy right now, she wouldn't be able to afford the money right now to buy the house because things are skyrocketing. So I think it all boils down to your determination as an individual. This is
Okay.
what I can do. And when you get here, you need to make up your mind to say, oh, you can do anything.
Okay.
By anything, I'm not talking about illegit things. I'm talking about legit way of getting money. So, for instance, now if you're like maybe HR head in Nigeria and you
Yeah.
feel that you are coming here to come and head one place, it doesn't work like that because they have like their rules. They have like certifications and licenses that you need to have before you attain that level. So once you already make up that your mind that, oh, I will just do anything for now before I upskill myself, I think you'll be fine.
Okay, so there's a saying that Inu Igbeluwa, like there's money inside sheets. Can you tell us a bit about the jobs you've done in this country so far? Because I know that in Nigeria you were a teacher, if I'm not mistaken, in a private school, right?
Yeah.
So now in this country, can you tell us a bit about, because me, I've washed toilets in this country. So can you tell us a bit about the jobs you've done in this country?
The thing is, when I was in Nigeria, I was like the HOD of my department in a prestigious international school.
Okay.
So when I got here, I tried applying for care jobs. I didn't get any. And my line is special needs. So I was wondering, what am I doing wrong? My CV was, I had to pay somebody to do my CV for me. So I didn't do it myself. So it was like a standard structure. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So I started applying for SEN teaching jobs. And I got like three companies that were on my neck for SEN teaching job. So basically, I'm actually a SEN assistant. It's different here. I've not done any menial job.
Okay.
So, but send assistant also part of the job description is for you to take care of the children. Of course,
Okay.
you won't be the teacher because there's a
Yeah.
teacher there. That's because they have their own system of education whereby you need to get some licenses and certifications before you start teaching, and you need to have a particular years of experience before you can say, oh yeah, a teacher and all of that. So my experience so far, it's not bad, but it's actually underutilized in the sense that I used to do a lot more in Nigeria. So here it's just like um you can't enforce the children to do what they don't want to do. So like there is that privilege. I don't want to do this. You can't force me to do it. But in Nigeria, we want every child to learn. We say, do you know the amount your parents are paying for school fees? But here it's free. So they really do not care. And the children are most of them are on the spectrum. Some of them don't have speech. Some of them don't have that social interaction. So it's well, my experience, it's not bad, but it's way lesser than what I would usually do on a normal day. So, but I'm looking at switching careers very soon because I'm doing a lot of trainings in project management and what's it called, Scrum. So I'm looking
Okay.
at switching careers because I've heard that there's a lot of money there. Me, I want money, plenty money.
Everybody wants money. So, what advice would you give somebody coming in to the UK? Would you tell them to just stay in Nigeria, like not come, because everything is just kind of like you have to go through a lot here to get to a particular stage if that is what you want. Maybe, for example, a branch manager of a UBA bank coming to the UK to start afresh. What advice would you give that kind of person?
I think now I think it's a lot easier because there is something called skilled visa. So I have a friend from Nigeria that got a job, a support worker job here. She's actually a teacher like me. We're working at the same organization. So she got 5 years visa, yes. So I think what you can do is try to do a lot of research. We have a lot of people on Instagram that posts jobs. jobs on care, on support, and some other things. And you don't need to limit yourself to to the UK. You can also look for jobs. There are jobs in Australia, there are jobs in Canada, but I know a lot of people say Australia is too far. What if something happens to me? Nobody will even want to, blink to say, oh, we're taking a flight there and all of that. I get, but I think if you feel okay, you need to have that master's degree and you are intentional about it, you could come to the UK because the education system here is actually very rigorous, and it's not like what we do in Nigeria at all. It is more of self-directed learning here. So not like the lecturer will be the one to be feeding you everything. You have to do a lot of work, which is actually very good because it will make you develop as an individual. So I think um if you know that you're tired of Nigeria, make your findings properly, and you should also make up your mind that anything that comes your way here you're going to do. Not having that that fantasy, that dream that, oh, I used to be the head of my department, I have to be the head when you get here. No, it doesn't work that way, because they have like processes, and you might be lucky to get a job from Nigeria before you get it, because there are lots of people that get jobs
Just
from
from Nigeria.
Nigeria before they
Okay.
get to the UK. So there's nothing God cannot do. So,
Exactly. Okay, so on a final note, if somebody is coming into the UK now,
yeah.
what type of visa would you advise the person should come in with?
Like I said, it really depends on you, because if you are saying, oh, I want to develop professionally, because for me, part of the things, part of the reasons why I left Nigeria was because I had my first degree was in English and literature, and my second degree was in cultural and media studies. So, and I've been working in SEM for 6 years, so I needed a certificate to back up my experience.
Okay.
So that was part of the reasons why I moved to the UK. On the other hand, I was looking for a better life for my family,
Yeah.
and for myself. So you can see that there are two reasons
Yeah.
now. So it really depends on your individual reason. For instance, if it's for you to japa, it's okay.
Okay.
You say you just want to japa, just want to leave this country. Be ready, be rest assured. There will be some days that you will cry like, oh, is this me? Is this what I'm doing? But at the end of the day, you see value for the money. For instance, now if you're going to work for 7 hours and they're paying £11 per hour,
Yeah.
you make that in Nigeria? No way.
Okay.
You can't make that in Nigeria. But be rest assured that you would. It's not as if it's when you land like this, that you're going to get jobs. There are some cities that are saturated because a lot of people came in.
Yeah.
So you might not get jobs on time. So just prepare, have that little cash,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere to help you in case you don't get jobs on time. But trust me, you would get jobs, and it's way better than Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
coming on to this episode. So guys, see you in our next house. Thank you. Bye. Hi everyone. So this is my next colleague that we're speaking with. She's going to introduce herself now. Please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Kimberly. I'm studying international politics because I'm going to be your next prime minister. Period.
Wow. International politics. So you want to know more about this UK politics or another
No,
country politics?
everywhere. So like how politics evolves around the world, Australia, UK, even Nigeria.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So on today's episode of my YouTube channel, we're actually talking about the life in the UK versus life in Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
So before I left Nigeria, they at least some people used to tell me that when you come to the UK, you start packing money. It's very, very easy. Like you start doing things sharp, sharp, ASAP. But then on getting to the UK, I realized that it was not the way they said it. So what are the things you heard in Nigeria versus the things you've actually experienced yourself in the UK?
Okay, like starting first, the one you said,
Yeah.
I think it's not like they didn't tell. Okay, actually, yeah, they did not tell us. They made it seem like, oh, it's very easy. Like just actually, it's easy to make money, but it's not easy to do
Do
what
the
you would
job.
do to make that money.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, you just want to sleep, and then you have to wake up. It's freezing cold. You have to wake up by 5 to catch a bus by 6 for a 8 o'clock shift. Nobody wants to go through that. So, like, yeah, that is very valid. Then, secondly, um, I don't know about everywhere, but particularly the city I'm in. It's not a big city like compared to like London.
Yeah.
And so, like, but when we were coming, we were hearing things like carry your everything, come with your man, this, that, blah, blah. What else can I remember? The pepper too. Let me tell you.
She said the pepper.
That pepper. When we're in Nigeria, let me tell you, I was just saying it now. Like, I got here August and I brought like 6 jars of pepper.
Okay.
Like Kenyan pepper, Cameroon pepper, Ghana
Mm-hmm.
pepper, every pepper you can imagine in this world. And I've not used them. Why? The pepper we get here is very spicy. I don't know where they get it from. They don't sell pepper like Lidl and all this, but like the
Mm-hmm.
Indian store,
So.
you use one pepper, 2 tomatoes, you've cooked your stew, everybody is fine.
Mm.
Like everybody is fine. But like so like all the pepper I brought,
You've not been able to
everything
use
is
them.
useless. And then what other thing? The whole food is cheap, and like it's not that cheap actually when you
But
think about it.
but then you know that you can actually use £5 to cook for a week.
So that's sakpa food. Because let's be honest, you don't want to work the way we are working here and be eating that kind of food. You want to eat
Yeah.
well. Like it's not like it's expensive, but it's not as cheap as they made it seem. Like if you want to shop, lower so you spend like 20 something pounds
Yeah,
if
sure.
you want to shop
Mm-hmm.
good. Like except it's only chicken you want to eat. And then the
Mm-hmm.
chicken is tiring as well. But like yeah, there's a lot of things, but those are the ones I can remember like off my head.
Okay, thank you. So now the point is, I'm sure you know that everybody knows that she's here on a student visa because
Yeah.
she already introduced herself that she's studying international politics. So would you advise somebody that is still in Nigeria? Okay, for example, a UBA branch manager saying, "Oh, I want to come and do my PhD or my master's here, like a second degree. Maybe he has done a master's in Nigeria, but because of the jackpot thing, he just wants to come in." So would you advise the person to come here on a student visa, or what kind of visa would you advise somebody to come in with?
Okay, the thing is if you can get a work visa,
Okay.
that's perfect. Coming on that because let's be honest. Sometimes I'm like I don't even feel like a student because I'm not writing exams. So I'm just going to class for learning's sake.
Okay.
And like for someone that is a branch manager, obviously the person is not in my own age rank.
Mhm.
The person is way older. I don't imagine someone that has been out of school for like 10, 15 years. You're not coming back. They're forcing you to go to class because attendance is mandatory and stuff. But then we will not deceive ourselves. Work visa is not easy to get.
Okay.
Except you're working in a social worker or something like in the UK, yeah, it's
Mhm.
not as easy. So like if you are like you are ready to make your move and everything, student visa is still the way to go. It's straightforward. You get what you get, and there are processes to make your stay permanent if you choose to. But like it's still the way to go. It's very easy, straightforward if you do things the way you're supposed to do it. So I would still advise people to use the student route because when you do that, at least it's calculated. Be like private school. You know, you enter at this time, you come out at this
Mhm.
time, everything is fine.
But then your advice. This is a branch manager we're talking about. This person
Yeah,
is earning like at least maybe per year. This person is earning like 20 million naira per year, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
Maybe like 1.2, or let's just say the person is earning like 40 million naira per year, and then coming to this country with a student visa. You're supposed to work for 20 hours, if I am not mistaken. So
yeah.
how do you want that person to survive?
So that's the thing in this life, you have to suffer to make it. Because
Okay.
let's be honest, a bank manager making 40 million a year, Nigeria will ridicule you. You won't know you are making that kind of money.
Okay.
Because let's be honest, I'm Nigerian as well. I love my country, not shading or anything. But let's be honest, you cannot say Nigeria and UK are on the same level.
Yeah, sure.
That's so obviously, if he's coming to do a course, like if he or she is coming to do a course, you know you're going to do something relating to your field, or if you want to branch out or something. But then you know after your 1 year, you are set.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky, you get a job. If not, post study, which is by the if you're on post study, you're working full time and
Yeah.
you're making like 20. Let's say you're paying on minimum wage, you're making like 24,000, 25,000. So people make up to 30,000
Mhm.
pounds a year. Do you know how much that is?
Okay.
We have people on student visa that are buying houses, even if it's
Mm-hmm.
mortgage or anything. It's about setting your priorities and it's not about what you we have. It's not about what you are in Nigeria. Everybody you come here, you also the difference is your money here has value.
Yeah.
Your money here has even on that student visa. People on student visa they're still feeding their families in Nigeria, paying school fees here,
Yeah.
buying land there. It's working if you have your priorities in order. It's not about. It's just like student visa is advisable because it's straightforward.
Okay.
Like you don't have to be wondering what if, and if work visa was easier, like I said earlier, is the way to go. Definitely.
Okay, so I think to some extent you've actually answered my last question, which would be what visa would you advise somebody that's coming from Nigeria to come in with? Then would you tell somebody that is in Nigeria, like that UBA branch manager? I'm still going to be referring to a UBA branch manager. I don't know why. So would you advise him to actually come into the UK, or would you advise him to just stay in Nigeria? Or would you advise him to go to other countries like Ireland, Australia, USA, Canada? At least Canada is very easy to get your PR right
Yeah.
now. So what would you advise that kind of person?
Okay, the thing is, everything still comes down to like age brackets. Let me break it down. If you are within the age of, let me use someone that is done from school, actually like 20 to 25,
Mhm.
student visa should be your way to go.
Okay.
Because let's be honest, you're getting an additional degree,
Mhm.
you're leaving the countries plus two. If you're lucky and you study maybe nursing or social work visa, you get it on a platter of gold.
Okay.
Or you did something tech or something, you understand? But like if
Mhm.
you be like people who do public admin, political science, just face your front, do your masters and enter the UK. But they are within the age, like for example now, I imagine my dad is a professor. He can this new teaching something. If he gets a visa, obviously he's not going to want to apply for that kind of something.
Yeah.
So like if you're within the age of like late 30s or like late 40s, early 40s, late 40s,
Mhm.
if you can get into Canada, it's better for you.
Okay.
Because like it's the PR factor there, like they value work there. UK they value education,
Okay.
that's the top in their head. But Canada, they value work. So if you're around that age, you easily get PR for your job or whatever you want to do. But if you're within the age of 20, see, to enter UK school, Canadian school, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. So like face your UK, do whatever you want to do. In the long run, you're good. But if you're within like if you know that like age is not on your side or like for like
Mhm.
education stuff, because let's be honest, not everybody has brain for education.
Yeah.
You don't expect someone that has been a boss in the office now enter one office and come and be begging one doctor, check my doctor, this doctor. That." No, it's not possible. So like it depends on your age basically. And
Mhm.
if you're into like the thing is each country they have things that they are useful for. Like US, if you're English major or you did education, US fits you. They will take you. They will give you PhD with scholarship.
Mhm.
The thing about coming to living Nigeria and Japan is information and
Okay.
resources. If you have information and resources on your, there's no country you cannot go to.
Mhm.
I don't usually advise people to go to Australia because if you go to Australia, just say bye bye to your family members. Until you are ready to come back, they are not gonna
Yeah.
see you. The thing is, there are a lot of countries people can go to, Germany, Sweden, but like obviously people everyone wants to go to the popular ones. I'm in UK, I'm in
Yeah.
US, everyone wants to Gara. So yeah, that's it.
So you just mentioned those are within the range of 20 to 25, then late 30s to late 40s. You've
Yeah.
not mentioned those from 26 to late to early 30s.
I used to call that age, anything you want age. I'm sure. See, there's a flex when you are big within that age because like everybody expect when you are 30, you have your life put together.
Yeah.
Then when you are 20, 25, they still expect, oh, you should be arranging your life. But you see that 26 to 30, at that point, I don't really think anything you do matters to
Matters.
anybody. Because they're like, you've you've outgrown the youthful something,
Mhm.
but you've not got it to where they need to start saying, your life is supposed to be. So
Mhm.
at that age, anywhere you want to go. But then I'll still advise the whole UK route and everything, students something, because I don't think 27-year-olds are 80, they are too small, are be too big to go to school. If you want an additional degree, fine. If you don't, fine. But see that
Mhm.
age, 26 to 30 is anything you want to do. If you want to marry, marry. If you want to stay in Nigeria, stay. But like obviously they can still go to school. Yeah, definitely.
Mm. All right. So I think my last question will be
But I said that was the last question.
sorry, I think I'm enjoying this session. So I think my last question,
Mm.
last question will be that for those in how would I put it? For those in the UK,
Mhm.
they used to say inu igbelowa that there's money inside
It's
shit.
literal. In the UK, it's literal. Like the money is in the shit. You pack shit. The thing is, funny, luckily for me, I've not packed shit like that.
So I've not packed it, but you've packed it, but you've not packed it like that.
Yeah, because like the instances where I had to do that, I had like a senior colleague. So mostly me, I have a trick. This is the trick. If I'm with a senior colleague, before we enter the room or anything, I've grabbed the equipment. So once I do that, I'm just in charge of giving you tissue
Everything
and
you need.
wipes. You are the one that will clean everything by yourself. But like that statement is literal. But then obviously we know that obviously that's not what it means. It means that like you go see, but there's dignity in labor in this place.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the dirtier the work, the more the money.
Mm.
That's the way it is. You that are doing people that are doing replenishment assistant, they are not earning up to people that are doing care.
Yeah.
People that are doing care are not earning up to people that are working in mortuary.
Mhm.
People that are working in mortuary, they're not earning up to people that are cleaning homes. I know a friend, she cleans like for construction workers and everything. They pay them £30 per hour. But then there's a time frame.
Yeah.
They'll give you £30 per hour. You have to clean 6 houses in 5 hours.
Wow.
And this house is not like clean like sweep vacuum. Oh. Houses that are like they've demolished, you need to carry pako, they need to make that house bare and naked so that they can continue what they want to do. So like the dirtier the work, the more the money. The cocoa is finding the work. Anyone where you see.
You
It
go
be
help
like
them.
husband, hold on.
All right, thank you so much, Kim. I think we've learned a lot from this session, from the trick that she uses in her care home. That's one thing. Then the dirtier the work, the more the money. Thank you very much for this session. So we'll go to our next client. Bye.
Hello.
Hi guys. So this is another colleague of mine, and she'll be the third person I'll be interviewing today, and she's going to be introducing herself now. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, my name is Amarachuku Aneke. Yeah, I'm an Igbo girl, of course. Yeah, from the name. So I'm studying criminal justice and crime control. I would say it's a tough course, really. I don't know. I didn't expect what I'm seeing. I don't know whether it's because of the education system back home and compared to the one here, but as it is, I'm trying my best. I'm a sharp girl, obviously, so I
Mm.
have to do my best.
So, what did you do in your undergraduate, and why did you
um,
choose criminology and criminal
Justice,
justice?
yeah. Well, I'm a lawyer. I studied law. So, well, they have the school, University of Hull. That's my school. So it has just one law course on master's level, yeah, international law. So when I was applying, I applied for that. Then I applied for criminal justice, which is somewhat related to law. So yeah, I couldn't get the international law because it was filled up. So
Okay.
I just had to go for criminal justice, but it's not bad
Is it
anyways.
in any way related to law?
Yeah, because in criminal justice it's all about the judicial system, justice and all. So we still do some law courses here and there. And the police work hand in hand with lawyers and all to get justice. So it's
Okay,
kind of
so did
related.
you do criminal law in undergraduates? Like, you were a law student in undergraduate,
Yeah.
so like, was it all about the law, Sharia law, this law? Because I know there are lots of law. So
Yeah.
did you in any time do criminal law?
Yeah. During my undergrad, I did criminal law, and then law school too. There was criminal law during law school, so yeah.
Okay, so on today's episode, like from the thumbnail that everybody must have seen, this is us talking about what we heard in Nigeria versus what we're actually seeing here. So because me, when I was in Nigeria, for the first two people I've interviewed today, I told them that in Nigeria, my most of my hands will come back, and then you see them spending lavishly. And then they'll say, yeah, it's very easy in the UK. Come to the
Yeah.
UK, is this, is that. But then coming to the UK is a different ball game
Okay.
entirely. So what can you say?
Well, I would agree with you too because initially, honestly, I'm not even going to lie. Last year, as of January, February, because I said when I applied the course was filled up, it was not even in any of my intentions to travel, right? Then my best friend too, she traveled January, and oh, my special friend also traveled a year before. So they were all like, I should come. Then I started missing them too. So they were like, don't worry. UK is better off than Nigeria. Can you call that I would see a better life in UK. Obviously there is a better life in UK in terms of making money and all, but you have to work. They did not tell me that part. They did not tell me. In fact, I know I need to work to make money, right? But they did not tell me I need to work hard, like real hard. But the good thing is that every of your hour counts. If you
Yeah.
work 1 hour, you're getting your money for every of your hour. It's very useful to you. Not like in Nigeria, that's well, some actually gain from that in Nigeria. Some don't work, but they get their money, right? Well,
Hmm.
some will work a lot and still not get enough for. So
I feel like in Nigeria is quite better because in Nigeria you can just call your uncle, "Ah, uncle, please, I beg, I need 50K. You figure me.
oh,
But in this
yes. Let
place,
me even tell you something else. I don't even know if I'm still a fine girl here. Nobody is to see you. In fact, I know in Nigeria I can like before I can get to my workplace, cars will stop to carry fine girls to their workplace now. But here, I don't even know fine. I know they could dress well again because it's waste of dressing. So you just dress and be doing your waka. If there is no bus, you trek to the place. But it's in Nigeria, I cannot be like that now.
exactly.
Fine girl cannot just walk and walk and walk and not. No.
Okay,
So
so
there are more of advantages. Like you can easily get free money in Nigeria, but here nobody gives anybody any free money. You have to work, and every 1 pound counts.
yeah, exactly. So what advice would you give a UBA branch manager? I've been saying this UBA, I don't know why, maybe because I have a bank account. So what advice would you give a UBA branch manager earning like 14, 15 million per annum coming into the UK on student visa? Please note he has a wife and 3 kids.
Okay. Well, I would say, well, it's you have to he has to consider the advantages and the disadvantages of coming over here. First of all, it's quite an easy life with his salary per annum in Nigeria, yeah. But then there is the um what is that? There is this what I'm security issues in Nigeria, yeah. There is a better future for the children in UK, right? Free education and everything. So I would suggest, even if oh he needs to bring his children here as a man, right? The wife could be the student, and then he can continue working back home and visit his children and family like monthly or maybe 2 times in a year or however. I think it's better of that way.
But don't you think the wife being the student,
Student,
how is she going to take care of
take
the
care. Oh,
kids?
that's another angle to it, right? Well, he can also be the dependent, yeah. And then, yeah, nobody said he cannot also work in an accounting firm in UK.
But
Coming as a dependent,
if you
yeah.
know if he's going to work as an accounting firm in this UK, he has to gain some certifications and some other things.
Exactly, but he has to come first, right? So when he comes, he can do all these small jobs for a start. You know,
If you be a branch manager earning 14 million doing care job,
it does not. Life is not that hard, child. You can just start for a start. That's why I said for a start. When he settles, gets necessary certifications and all, he can aim for the higher position. Me self, the care work self tire me really. I'm a lawyer. Oh.
see I'm layer. Okay, so what advice would you give somebody that is still in Nigeria now? Would you tell
Okay.
them to come to the UK or go to another country because UK is a no-no
Well,
area for anybody?
I'm not telling anybody not to come to UK. UK is big enough to contain all of us. Before they will say, I say you should not come. Come. But just have it in mind that it's not easy. But come. It's not easy for me, but I'm doing it right. It's not going to be easy for you, but you can do it.
Okay, do you think as a student without a dependent, sorry, this question is not supposed to come in, but then I think as far as we're talking, you just
Anytime.
came in. Yeah, do you think for a student without dependent doing only 20 hours during term time, then during holidays, you're doing any hours you
Anyhow,
want to do
yeah.
you think the person can pay his or her school fees? For example, you have like 11,000 pounds to pay for school
Mhm.
fees, and then before you left Nigeria, you've only paid 2,000 pounds. Do you think 9,000 pounds is something that somebody can actually pay?
With 20 hours work, it's going to be a very tough one. And then there is rent to pay too. So, but if you've the person had paid like a little bit of the fees, yeah, 20 hours is actually just for you to relax and be a student. 20 hours is not enough to pay school fees and rent and take care of yourself. But if you have finished paying your school fees and all, 20 hours is It's actually a very soft ground.
But somebody that can finish paying school fees in Nigeria, why would the person want to come to this place?
Why? Ah, Nigeria is frustrating, obviously. Because yeah, and then the educational system, yeah. I know a colleague of mine that was doing his masters. Which year was that? 2011 in a Nigerian, a federal, not 2011. Sorry, excuse me. 220, that 220 or 221. But he's still on that. The masters was supposed to be 2 years masters. He's still on that masters. Every year strike, right?
Okay, so but I just feel like somebody that's going to come and spend £11,000 a year and can pay it at once in Nigeria without blinking an eye.
Then let me even tell you something else. Yeah, if when you're done with your masters, yeah, if you really like Nigeria and then you want to go back after the masters, I mean, companies in Nigeria will still give preference to your UK master's certificates than
Okay.
you Nigerian master's certificate. So that could be a reason why
Yeah.
somebody would want to do masters here in UK. Then another reason, maybe the course you want to do on masters level, it's not in Nigeria. So you want, so there are so many reasons. Then yeah, I know people. Some people are from like a very very rich background,
Mm-hmm.
so they just want to travel out. The parents handles everything, and they're out. So that's it.
All right. I'm sure you guys must have learned a lot from this session. So this is going to be the end of this session. Until another time, we're going to another person's house. So then, thank you very much for
Thank you,
being on
love.
this
Thanks for
session.
coming.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. So hey guys, well back again, and this is my fourth colleague that will be interviewing for today's session, and is going to be introducing himself. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Boluwatife Adetola.
You're
Um,
studying.
Studied renewable energy.
So can you tell us a bit about renewable energy?
Renewable energy basically is energy that is renewable. To start, that is as it sounds that easy. So when you talk about wind energy, solar energy, anything that cannot be depleted actually, other than they are used in place of fossil fuels like petrol, kerosene, and the likes that we use. Basically, anything that does not emit carbon. That's what renewable energy is about. Yeah,
Oh, okay, that sounds like a very interesting course.
yeah, it is actually.
Okay, so the point of this session today is actually to educate more Nigerians that wants to come into the UK. You understand? So I feel like the point is what we heard in Nigeria is different from what we're actually seeing in the UK. Because in
Yeah.
Nigeria, some people, at least some YouTube videos I watched before leaving Nigeria, I was told that you can come to the UK and once you come, you start making money ASAP, and then everything begins to work for you. But it's not the same. So can you please tell us what you heard in Nigeria and what you actually met on coming to the UK?
Well, actually, for me, I actually had like family members that have been here a long time.
Okay.
So I've always never been entitled in a way. Let me just
Okay.
put it like no offense to anybody, but like I've never been entitled to ask them for stuff. So in a way, I kind of understood how things were. Not like I knew how it would be on
Mm-hmm.
before getting here, but then I understood how things were. So on getting here, then I realized that wow, like it is not easy normally, but it is really, really, really not easy. I mean, the kind of jobs you have to do, the kind of hours you spend, there's literally no job in this country that you don't stand. Like you will stand for hours. If there's anything you learn in this country, you learn how to stand, you learn how to walk, you learn how to trek. Like you literally learn all these things. So I mean, like people don't really know until they get here. And I don't want to sound or I don't want to like put it on them that maybe because they feel like, oh, you are here, you're earning money, you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
help us, that kind of thing. You are earning in pounds, low pounds, all those kind of stuff. People say those things, and it's until when you come here and they actually see and they understand that, oh, more.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how it
It is,
is.
yeah.
Like it's actually crazy. Any money you're working for in this place, like just know that you are working for it. Like every single second, every single minute, every hour, like you are literally working for that money.
Mm-hmm.
So That's what I can say about the whole thing. Sure.
So it was not like it was not really different what they had told you back in Nigeria and
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
actually
yeah.
got
Like
here to find out.
I had family members that they were quite honest and they were telling me that it's not easy here. But obviously, you never know till you experience it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but then you know there's some lavish aunts because there was one time one of my aunts came to
yeah.
Nigeria. She came for a wedding, and then I think we spent almost 10 million naira. And when I asked her, I was like, how is it in the UK? She was like, it's very easy. You just come to the UK. You see how I'm spending money on my wedding. You see this, you see that. Only for me to get there, and then
You realize it's not like that.
it's just like an entirely different ball game.
I mean, like, and I feel another thing that helped me is the fact that before coming here, like I've come here before, like as visiting, not coming to study. So like,
Okay.
I kind of understood how their life was. At least you already know how life is when you stay with someone for like maybe 2 weeks and you go. Of course, they'll be on their best behavior. They'll accommodate you very well. So
Mm,
I kind of had that like understanding that these people, yes, they are working, but they are earning money and stuff, but it is not easy. So I feel like if you have like family members that are honest, they will tell you the fact that
honest.
like exactly, it's only the ones that are not honest. If the ones that are honest, they tell you the fact that yes, this is what I'm doing, this is how it is. But most people don't always want to say it. So that's why a lot of people in Nigeria have this misconception that once you are here, or more life is soft to the end for you, which is not
Not
the
true.
case. I mean,
Mm.
even the citizens here, like it is not easy for them. So how much more you an immigrant? Like think about it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, so what advice would you give a branch manager earning like 50 million naira per annum and he has three kids and a wife? He wants to come to the UK
Yeah.
on a student visa.
Mhm.
What advice would you give him?
Well, actually, from what you said now, it sounds like it's established in Nigeria already.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that I've seen people actually that have like established businesses and they are like grounded to an extent in Nigeria. And regardless, they move here. Most of them claim they do it for their kids because of the level of insecurity in
Guilty.
Nigeria
Mm-hmm.
and how things are, which is understandable. But I mean, you cannot really advise anybody not to move. I mean, you are here because a lot of people like when people see comments on IG and they be like, life in the abroad is hard. Then the comments are always like, hey, come back home now. Like people say that thing a lot. But what may I just say is that from what you said now, the man is grounded in Nigeria.
Yeah.
If he still wants to come here, I would not advise him not to come. But I would not advise you to like sell off all your properties or don't have something still going on for you in Nigeria. Because if you've gotten to that stage, obviously you should have acquired certain things in Nigeria before coming here.
Yeah.
So if you're coming here and you're coming for your kids, you're coming for a better life for your children, which is understandable. I mean, we all live for our kids, which is fine. So I mean, I won't say come, I won't say come, I won't say don't come. But what I would say is like, don't just like throw all what you have in Nigeria away. Like if you have like businesses still going on for you or something, like establish that, then come.
But how would he sorry, how would he establish it if
Yeah.
he's a student and he has to be in class because attendance is mandatory? He has to be in class, and then so how would he be able to establish a business in Nigeria when you know that you're supposed to be in class, attendance is mandatory, you cannot just leave anytime you want to leave and come back anytime you want to come back.
Well, this is where the issue. I'm not married, so I cannot. I
You
can
can't relate.
I can't really. But
Yeah.
if I were to say it like the way it could be, I mean, it's not easy coming here without your spouse or without your
Mm-hmm.
partner. So,
Yeah.
but if you know that yes, as a student, you're coming here because it's mandatory for you to like go to classes, attendance, and all the likes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it will always be best for you to have someone trusted in Nigeria that you can like leave your finances to, and who much more better than your better half, or so they say.
So
So,
you
but
what? Sorry, are you
yeah.
saying you want to? The wife is supposed to stay back in Nigeria and look after the business for the man, and then the husband will come to the UK and look after the kids, or what? Because at least you're saying it's for the kids, right?
Yes, for the kids, yeah.
So we're supposed to take care of the kids if the wife is in Nigeria with the business.
Like I said before, I'm not married. So I mean, you cannot. I don't want to sound offensive to the married people. So, but I just feel, I mean, like when you come here, actually, from what me I know, like, I've heard men that they had to like basically do the nanny business. Like you have to like take care of your child. You cannot employ nanny in this place. Otherwise, if you have the money to be paying per hour, which obviously most people don't. So what I would just say is that it's all decision making. Like if you decide that okay, yes, every one of us were coming here, then okay, then you can leave your things in Nigeria and come, which is fine. And if you decide that one, if it is okay that one person can stay behind and another person can have things going on here, it's fine. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not married. I just feel like it boils down to what they decide, and the best
Okay.
thing for them to decide is what works best for them. But if
Mm.
it were me, if it were me and I have something going on in Nigeria, I would rather like send my wife and kids there than still stay back in Nigeria. Then I'm coming to visit as much as I can. So
So you want your wife to just be taking care of the kids while you be in Nigeria taking care of your business? I mean, who
that's
will
what
be the
that
students?
fine. Okay. Now you're confused. Okay. Let me come back to what I said. This is how it is. Okay, if the man has something going on for him in Nigeria, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and his wife is there also in Nigeria with him, and they decide that okay, we're coming here,
Mm-hmm.
then one of them has to be the student. Obviously, I
Yeah.
don't know who will be the student because I mean I'm not judging anybody here. I'm not trying
Okay.
to make a scenario for anybody. But let's say the wife happens to be the student, which most of the time is the case.
Okay.
For married couples that I've seen here, that I've seen here, please don't misquote me. Married couples that I've seen here, most, let me say, 60% of the time, the
Mm-hmm.
wife is usually the
Students.
student
Yeah.
actually, and the man is like the dependent. So the man gets to work as much as he can. So that's why I said she would actually come here and take care of the kids. Then me, I'm back in Nigeria.
How are you? Sorry, how is the wife supposed to take care of the kids when she will be going to school? Attendance is mandatory. What if the course she's studying, she has to be in school for from Monday to Friday? Where's the time to take care of the kids?
There's literally no time. To be fair, there's no time actually.
So what are we saying?
Well, then the kids would probably have to stay back with me or something. I don't know. Because, I mean, it's
I
difficult,
mean, you
but
want a better life for your kids. So
you want a
why?
better life for your kids, yes, by bringing them here. But if it falls to that and I realize that she cannot cope, then I mean, as sad as it sounds, I would have to like leave everything and come on. Because I mean, they are my kids as well. I cannot leave the whole responsibility for her, obviously. So I would have to like find a way to settle my affairs in Nigeria, then also move here and help her out. So yeah, I believe that's what I'll do in the end.
Okay, I think that still sounds kind of
Yeah,
kind of better. So
yeah,
I think for the last question is going to be someone that is still in Nigeria now.
yeah, yeah.
What advice would you give them? Would you tell them to come on a student visa, skilled worker visa, charity visa, pastorship, business visa? What kind of visa would you advise them to come on? And what country would you advise them to go? US, UK, Canada, at least knowing that PR in Canada is quite easy. Not easy, easy, easy,
Yeah.
but easy to get. What country would you advise them to go?
Well, what me I'll say concerning this issue of Jackpot is like is basically pick your poison. That's just what it is. It's a pick your poison thing because every country has pros, every country has cons. Like UK now, obviously the pro is that it's easy to get in. The con is that it's hard for you to get your stay once you're here because they know I mean the 5 year or 10 year route and stuff is hard. Then for Canada, hard to get in. Once you get in, it's settled. US, hard to get in. Once you get in, you can easily find your way because there are a lot of opportunities. So like I feel it's something that everybody needs to like really, really sit down and think about. I mean actually think about it that what is my plan? Because I would not advise you to just decide to okay, I'm jackpotting, like no plan or more. You just jackpot and you just lose yourself wherever you go, regardless. So even if it's Ghana, you're jackpotting, like you need to have a plan, from
Mm-hmm.
what I believe. So concerning the students, I mean, what visa route you should enter,
Mm-hmm.
student, business or whatever. Well, for the skilled worker visa, like I feel this is pertaining to a certain type of people. That's the people that have experience in quotes, because you cannot expect a company overseas to just employ you when you have no experience
Experience
or
again.
anything, regardless. So it's for people that have like experience. So if you have the experience and you know that yes, like you've looked through these companies, what's that called, their job description, and you fit into it, by all means apply for it. Not everybody wants to come and be reading book. I mean, reading book is actually stressful.
Yeah, very, very.
It's stressful, especially once you don't BS in Nigeria. And, let me just say, 80% of us that are coming, we know come for this masters. Like all of us, we know deep down in our head that this is not why we're here. We are just here because it is the easiest route. So that's what I'll say. Like most of the time, the student route will still remain the easiest route for you to integrate into the Western or European Union or whatever. I mean, society, not union. So I mean, concerning the visa thing, it just depends on what you have, your qualifications
Yeah.
for the skilled worker visa. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're qualified for it, by all means, please go for it. Like they don't especially if the company is diverse, like the company you're applying for, like they need people and they see that you can actually deliver. They will not judge you based on your the color of your skin. Like once they see that this person can do this thing, they will
Mm-hmm.
actually pick you. Because I know people that they've gotten jobs from Nigeria here. They didn't have to go through any studentship or anything.
Okay.
So it actually works. But yeah, I mean, all the same, the advice I'll just give is you just need to have a plan. Like you need to know what
Mm-hmm.
you're getting into, because it's all doom and gloom when people like come online and they post pictures. I'm in the abroad. I mean, it's sweet. It's sweet actually. Blue, you see blue sky, you see fine environment. But I mean, like those things, like my experience. One me, I just realized that the moment you come here,
Mm-hmm.
like for it only works for like the first 3 months. Like that, those first 3 months, everywhere go feel fly, everywhere will be fine and everything. But after that 3 months, or more, it dawns on you that okay, yes, like
Yes.
I'm in a different place. I need to get my settings right. I need to know what to do. I need to know this. I need to know that. Like the pressure comes, like it just comes, and you need to find a way to like know what you're doing. So just decide basically. I don't need to talk too much, but yeah.
So you're just telling them if you want to come to this country, just have a plan, basically.
Have a plan. Have a
Yeah.
plan. It's very important for you to have a plan. Then another thing again, like obviously consider your finances. I mean,
Yeah, that's
any
important.
anywhere you are going in this life, anywhere, money is like the major, major, major thing.
Mm-hmm.
Canada, US, UK, France, Germany, anywhere you're going, like money
Important,
is
yeah.
very, very important. So like you need to consider your finances as well. Some people, like when I see some people that they come to the UK and obviously you don't have where to stay. Like I don't know, did you plan to sleep on the streets on coming here? Like I'm not trying to sound
But some
insensitive.
people will say that I prefer to sleep on the streets in the UK than sleep under the bridge in
No, no,
Lagos.
code will kill you. It's code that will finish you. Like, nobody will tell you. Like, so I feel like if you're coming to any like Western or European country or anywhere you're going, like you need to know your finances, obviously. I'm not saying you should go and borrow money that you cannot pay back, because I mean I know how hard it is. I mean, some of us
Mm-hmm.
are lucky that we have people that can actually help,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody knows how it is for some people that are struggling and everything. It's not easy actually, but
Yeah.
I mean, my advice would just be consider your finances. Like, don't don't come here with the hope that nobody will give you shishi. Nobody will give you anything. So like you need to like, really really consider your finances.
Mm,
Then yeah,
that's it.
that's what I would say.
All right. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you for coming on today's session. So,
Hi
well,
guys,
how
thank you. I'm sure that at least to some extent your eyes must have been opened to a lot of things from what my colleagues have said earlier, from what you've heard from them. I'm sure you must have actually know the difference between what we had in Nigeria versus what we are actually experiencing. This is not us shading UK or shading what some YouTubers must have said. No, it is just us spilling the truth basically, because everybody deserves to know the truth. This is just us spilling the truth about things that we ourselves we have seen in the UK, not we trying to like shade any YouTuber or anything. No. So guys, I'm sure you guys enjoyed this. So I'll be dropping the part two, like I said earlier. I'll be dropping it in like in 3 4 5 days. But then thank you so much guys, and do not forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share. Till another time again, I still remain myself. Ayata Malapela. Bye guys.